Well, hey, get away from my stew!
Oh, it's you. What? No, of course not. Never seen you before in my life. I just figure you're you. You know? And I'm me, and that's where we are. So, what can old Mudtooth do for you, huh? Lucky for you, I've got answers. Good ones, too. Quite a bit, stranger. The name's Mudtooth. And ain't nobody been around longer or seen more than I... Except maybe old Ford, of course. Only 3 reasons why folks come to see me. And that's my stories or my stew. Yeah. You bet your apple I can, but these ain't just stories, stranger. So that I'm thinking, and I think to myself, this mudder actually wants to hear thee. Reminds me of my ma tell you the truth the way I'd listen to her. And the way my boy Brabus used to listen to me. That wanderer reminded me of family. And that's the most important thing, ain't it? So I figured I ain't left long for this world. So I give 'em my wife's old watch in thanks. Ain't too long after that, my boy Brabus comes back in person, first time in years, with a watch chain peeking out his pocket. I knew a good thing when I saw it. I didn't say nothing. Just welcomed the boy back like nothing had changed. Family's the most important thing we got in this world, young'un. Don't forget that. Ho, 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 ho! Here's a good one. You've been introduced to that girl Clementine. Powerful woman she is, but she weren't always so. She's near as old as Ford is, if you can believe it. Even older than my old bones. How about it? Those two have a lot in common, including traveling to other worlds. You see, she was born on Earth, but Clementine spent 100 years on a snow world called Resome. They call it that on account of some you read and some you don't. Anyway, what was she doing all that time? Training. See, Resome's full of giant talking rats. They got warrior rats and midwife rats and even mystic rats. Clementine, she learned under the tutelage of a 2-headed mystic named Sebum. Taught her everything she knows. She don't talk about it, of course, on account of Sebum's a wanted man. Rat, I guess. But it's God's own truth. I met the man myself, rat. Stop me if I told you this one already. You met my boy Brabus yet? He's a handful, that one. Always has been. Got into a scrap when he was 5, he did. Knocked down a boy had to be, twice his age. And 3 to 6 times his height, at least. Well, that boy's pa didn't take it none too well. And this paw, phew, like a pair of fists with leg bones. That boy's paw wanted to take some skin out of me for it. Now, I ain't proud of what I did next, but, oh, my kidding, I wouldn't be telling you if I weren't proud, now would I? But, like I taught Brabus, say as I do as I say. And anyways, I couldn't back down from a fight, not in front of the crazy 8. Come to think of it, that's probably how Brabus got the way he is. Anyway, I fight the man. He could have crushed my head between market and roast beef, but I aim to win, not fight fair. I pointed at nothing at all behind him, then smooshed a scoop of mud straight into his mouth. Then, while he was a-spitting and a-sputtering, I hit him hard. So hard that when he fell, my muddy hand came away with 3 of his teeth in it. And that, friend, is the true story how I got the name Mudtooth. That's so? Huh. Did I tell you about the stories yet? Right. So, let me see here. Folks come see me for my stories and my... Listen, you sure I said there were 3 reasons? Don't worry, it happens to all of us. You'll lose a lot more than that if you get to be my age. Stop me if I told you this one already. Long time ago, when I was just 10 years old or so, I moved to a place called Sanctuary. Sanctuary was true to its name. It was a place where folks came to be free from the dead wood, to protect each other. A lot like this place. Boy, Sanctuary had everything. Folks there had working engines and roads filled with fruit trees, and one thing I never... No, I'm awake. Boy, Sanctuary had everything. Folks there had working engines and roads filled with fruit trees. But Sanctuary had this one thing I ain't never seen since. They called them movers, and I can still see them in my mind. See, they'd hook up this battery, right? Only it weren't storing power, but stories. They'd hook it up to a wheel and a light, and bam! Whole worlds just show up on the wall. Talking rabbits and stuttering pigs and this one real surly duck. Maybe it's something like Ford's old crystals. Except you couldn't walk into the movers. Believe me, I tried. Nah, they just played for you, sound and all, transporting you to another place. Maybe that's where I got my love of stories, huh? Huh. Never really thought about it till now. Stop me if I told you this one already. Crazy 8 traveled a lot after leaving Sanctuary. Came to this one town named Ghost Well. No, Oak Hole. No, wait. It was Swan Creek. Swan Creek, I'm sure of it. Anyway, this Croakswell town didn't take kindly to strangers, and that sure as hell meant us. We stayed anyway, course. Brought 'em good scrounge, we did. Nobody scavenged like the Crazy 8. And there was this girl, smartest damn girl you ever met. Her old man, though, he didn't like us one bit, especially me. So one day, there's a banging on the doorstep. I open the door, and the girl's old man clocks me with the butt of his shotgun. Knocked out one of my teeth, he did. Then he points the gun in my face and starts shouting, "Which one of you assley holes got her in the family way?" he says. "I know it was one of you." Well, I ain't gonna argue with a man behind a gun. So I looks around, sees Mudtooth in the mud, and says, "Mudtooth, he's the one you're after." And off he ran after someone who don't exist. Or didn't exist, I guess. We ditched Ghost Crack that day, but the name came with me. And that's the story of how Brabus was born. Except he weren't born yet, was he? Not born then. The other thing. Conceptualized. You'll like this one. There's an old man what lives at the center of a maze. Or does he live at the gate to the maze? It don't matter. This old man sees everything. And I don't mean like he can see whatever he wants when he wants. I mean, he sees everything all at once. That ain't all. The old man in the maze is a maker. The maze, see, is like a spider web full of doors, stretching its threads every which way. And this Watcher Man sits at the center. And he don't just watch. He makes. Where there ain't a door, he makes one. And then he makes what's on the other side of it, too. Oh, I can see on your face you ain't buying it. But I tell you, this Earth of ours is just one door in a dozen hundred. And if in this maze watcher decides he wants someplace to end, all he got to do is snap a thread and poof, no more door, no more world. Stop me if I told you this one already. It's about the time my own damn son left me to die. Oh, don't worry, I'm still here, ain't I? Or he went to get some grub for us or whatever, I don't know. Point is, I was alone in the darkened woods with nothing but my rifle. We was on our way from the city to our new home in the ward here, carrying all my earthly possessions and all that, and Brabus, he up and leaves me in the middle of the night. And that's when I heard. Oh, yeah, I'm getting to it. I was attacked. 20, no. 50 deadwood come crashing through the trees. We thought they was all dead and gone, but they were just a-waiting for old Mudtooth to leave his helio chopper. Now, I may be an old mudder, but I ain't no pushover. I blasted them down, left and right, laughing all the time. I was winning until something snuck up on me and concustipated me upside the head. I don't mind telling you, I thought I was done for. Then a growling starts. Deadwood back off, and I look up to see a dog there tearing them apart, literal limb from non-metaphorical limb. We fought the rest off together, that dog and I thought to myself, now there's a mudder what's got some teeth. Turns out he just wanted some of my stew. You'll like this one. Did I tell you I once sailed across that ocean to that old rusted tower? It was after that wanderer came through here and cleared out the storm. Old Mudtooth's crazy, you know, but I ain't stupid. I tell you, I saw things down there that you ain't never seen in your life. Down there in that rusted place was just machinery and roots twisting every which way, like the root themselves had built it. But they didn't. No, that old place was called Ward 10 and 7. You can see it plastered all over, and it was built by humans. By the folks Ford himself used to serve, if you can believe that. Oh, he'll deny it, I'm sure. But all them electronicals they got down there are the same damn things you'll find in old Ward 10 and 3. In that place, I know he found it. He's the founder, after all. What were they up to down there? Now, that's the question. I heard some answers myself, but I don't know if I believe them. There's a story for another time. Ah, here's a good one. I ever tell you about the time I killed 300 deadwood in one go? Ooh, that's a tale. So, I lived up in this old, helio-chopataka whatchahoozits, great sniper's nest. Let me pop off deadwood from a mile away. But one night, I wake up to a rustling and a howling, right? I look outside, and there's deadwood all around the place, hundreds of them. But they don't stop coming. And I'm thinking, this is finally it. But then, I see tucked away behind an old building the cracked open end of an old gas main. So I squint my good eye and pray to Kennedy, Jeebus, and Cash, and I squeeze the trigger, and my bullet flies through the air like a hawk to a coney. Caw-caw! It scrapes the pipe, and boom! Whole damn horde goes up in flames. Not a single one of them left. Deadwood never did bother me after that. Let me see here. Ain't no one on this planet more beautiful or dangerous than the Moth Queen. She rules an old swamp about 100 miles off in, that direction. Folks say if you climb one of these here towers on a clear night, you can see the swamp lights a-flashing. But them ain't no ordinary swamp lights. And she ain't no ordinary queen. She don't lead her people, who really ain't even people, come to think of it. They're hey, watch it. So, now, but them ain't no ordinary swamp lights. And she ain't no ordinary queen. She don't lead her people, who really ain't even people, come to think of it. Anyways, the Moth Queen draws her folk to her like a... well, like a moth, I guess. That's how the saying goes. Anyway, she captures folks with her beauty and her mothy pulchrituditude. And she never lets them go. She infects their mind so they never want to leave. And she turns them into something else. If you head off that way, keep your wits about you. 'Cause that swamp used to be a city as big as this'n. But no more. No more. You know, I actually can't think of another good one. Curse of getting old, I guess. Let me rest my mind eyes and my brain thoughts. Maybe some more will come to me. I warn you, once you try a bite, you'll want more. Be sure to come back for some stew.